Okay. Lovely.
So, good morning. That was a very odd start. So we're now recording this over on Zoom for everyone to watch, because we don't know, Crowdcast had a little moon moment this morning.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yes, we have moved to Zoom, so
we've moved to Zoom
because we can.
Yeah, and we'll send this out to I'll get Tanya to send this out with the next members email, and also it'll obviously be in the new members area, so everyone will be able to watch it there. So how are you this bank holiday Monday?
I'm good, thank you, Lesley. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've been out a couple of times over the weekend, which is what we're talking about today, isn't it?
Yes.
And it did seem really odd and a little bit uncomfortable. Both times we just went to someone's house for dinner on Saturday and Sunday, and it was just us. But both times when we arrived, there were some other cars around, and Paul and I both looked at each other and went, do you think it's just us, isn't it? Which is bizarre feeling.
Yes, it's very different for us, isn't it? And I'm with you on that, Lesley. I haven't been out very much, but I'm slowly I'm doing it in little steps, and there is anxiety before I even get out of the door, to be honest, getting ready. My timing isn't very good, having to be at a certain place at a certain time. So it's relearning maybe all of these skills that we took for granted, maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah. But I went out to, it was a public event actually Friday evening. I went to see lovely Claire Martin sing. But it was a safe place, but it was unknown for me. It was socially distanced. We had tables. It was all, they couldn't have done better. But I still could not relax. I was actually looking around, feeling a little bit unnerved, I think is the word. But it was lovely, and it, as I say, couldn't have been safer. But I still had those feelings. So this is what we're going to talk about, isn't it? How we cope with the feelings, and they are natural. It's perfectly natural to feel this way. We have needed to protect ourselves, haven't we? It's been a real threat. It's not imagined. It's a real thing. We have coped with that very well, haven't we? We've all kept ourselves safe. We've done what we needed to do. So it's actually coming back out to a changed world, being changed people, because it's not the same. We can't say we're coming back to normality, because we're not, are we? It's completely different. So it's just recognizing that and actually going, yeah, it's okay to feel this way. Step number one, isn't it? It's understandable. Give ourselves some time. And recognize, and I have found, I don't know about you, Lesley, but whenever I've done the smallest things, even, I'm so tired afterwards.
That's the thing. That is, do you know what? You just hit the nail on the head there. After we went out, so we had to drive to this friend's house on Saturday. We'd been out for a walk in the afternoon to exhaust the dog. By 10:30, I was shattered. I was like, okay, I've had to engage in conversation with people outside of my, outside of my immediate family.
Yeah.
I've had to eat food that someone else has cooked.
Oh, we haven't done that for a while, have you, Lesley?
No. And by 10:30, I had one glass of wine, because I thought, I'm not used to drinking now either.
No. It's everything, isn't it? Everything. And it's really interesting. You just said about taking Teddy for a walk. Maybe we're missing our doggies, because we're spending so much time with our animals, aren't we? I'm doing with everywhere I've been through lockdown has been with my dogs, and I think you've been the same to a certain extent. Maybe they are now our support dogs.
I have a confession.
I
took him with me. So in the morning, I took him to the groomers and had him washed and everything, because I thought, I'm going out. So it's like me thinking about, what I'm going to wear. I took the dog to the...
Don't tell me you dressed Teddy up.
No, I didn't, but he did have a wash and brush up.
Oh, bless him.
And we took him on Saturday night, and he was good as gold, apart from he did have a little bit of a moment with their cat. But I think the cat was a bit like, what on earth is that? And then we also took him on Sunday as well.
So my little theory about having your support dog with you, you're actually doing.
I actually took my support dog with me, just because I knew that I couldn't not.
Yeah, but it's something it's just something to recognise, isn't it? And just go, it is whatever we can use at the moment to support us and to help us through this. Again, it's a transition. We had all that change at the start of lockdown, didn't we? A massive change that we just had to get on with. And all the way through, there's been something different, something different, something different. You know, new stuff being thrown at us, new things. There has been sadness, grief, there's been loss, there's been lots of emotions to deal with in every shape or form, you know, not just the people that we might have lost, but businesses, you know, everything, you know, to recognise that and really feel that we're coming out of this, as I say, into a completely different world. It's an unknown, isn't it? And we are different. We've changed through this. I don't think there's any one of us that hasn't been affected in some way or other. So it's just to really be, it's all the cliches, isn't it? Be kind and gentle to yourself and recognise, you know, that we're doing a good job. And I think you said something earlier, didn't you, in one of your posts about small steps. It's little steps all the time, isn't it? And I really feel that it is, like we say, you know, do something.
I think I said this to Sandra actually, and Sandra,
it might have been, mightn't it?
Yeah, Sandra is French, and I said to her, if you eat the frog, make sure you drink lots of did I say gin, Sandra, or did I say, I think then you said I'm French, so I need to have wine.
Yes, I didn't understand the saying.
Yeah, so it's like,
no, probably not. No, Eat the Frog is what, it's a book, isn't it?
Eat the Frog is like, do the thing that most terrifies you, or is the biggest thing, or the thing that you don't want to do. There is a book that says Eat the Frog first.
That's where it comes from, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
And culture, sorry.
Yeah, no, I thought it was no, great.
It's fine, isn't it? Because different sayings and everything. But it is that idea of actually going, I would actually say for what we're talking about now, it's not a question of do the biggest, scariest things first. I would say turn that one around for this way of doing things and actually go, let's do little steps and do take your little comfort blanket with you, take what you need with you, take your dog, take your support people, you know, and recognise that it's a little bit unnerving for us all, and for wherever you're going, everybody's doing things different. So there is that. I keep hearing lately the collective energy. That's a phrase I keep hearing, the collective energy. We are not just feeling this for ourselves, we're feeling it in everyone that we're having anything to do with. So like where I went out Friday night, the people that are putting on the event, they've got that nervousness, they've got that anxiety. The people that are performing have got it too, you know. So we're actually surrounded by that energy big time, and we are going to take that on as well. It's not just what we're dealing with, it's everything else. So for that reason, I mean, I most people that know me know I start my day with a little meditation, setting myself up. But you can do these little quick and simple meditations, if you want to call it, just a bit of recognizing at any time, and putting yourself in a little visual bubble is such a wonderful thing to do. And you can just do it very, very quickly and simply, just actually by just taking a few breaths and just visualizing yourself. I tend to have almost like smoke. I get a colour and smoke comes around, surrounds me, and I'm in that little bubble. A bit like if you're as old as I am, the Ready Brek Glow. Do you remember that, the Ready Brek Glow? I do. And just feel yourself, and just, I've got my little bubble around you. You can do it in seconds. I've got that around me. I'm protected. You know, I'm safe. It's okay. And if you want to, oh, it's lovely, Teddy. Oh, look, so gorgeous. If you want to, you can actually make that bubble. What is it? Is it 1 metre now or 2 metres still? The distance.
Oh, I don't know.
You can make that bubble as big as you like. Give yourself space. As human beings, we need our space. You know, that you're invading my space, that kind of thing. So much now, our space is there, and people are giving us that. But we can visualize that lovely glow around us, our aura, if you want to look at it that way. But just see whatever comes up for you. As I say, I always get like smoky colors, and just put yourself in this bubble and know that you've got that behind you, underneath your feet, above your head, all around you. You're in this protective place. So wherever you move, it goes with you. And that's quite a nice little visualization, as I say, you can do in seconds. And it just gives you that little bit of protection. And it's also quite, I think as well, movement really helps when we're a little bit anxious. It's nice just to have a bit of a shake and a bit of a move. And I literally do, you probably heard me say it before, shake it out. You know, it's like I'm flicking off water from my fingers. I'm feeling these nerves, let it all go, let it all wiggle and shake it off, you know. And I stamp my feet as well, because that again is really powerful, just to move rather than going, I'm a bit nervous, I'm a bit stuck. Just
well, that's what we do, isn't it? That's what we do when the hormones. So this is all chemical responses in our body. I think that's what people need to understand.
Yes, it is.
That's why we collectively feel it, because it's all hormonal driven in our body, and we have happy hormones and we have sad hormones, and and these are fear, fight, and flight hormones. So that's why we freeze, which is what you're describing, is that we find ourselves in a panic, or a really the stress hormones are triggered, and that can give us brain fog. So our brain can't function properly, and it can't think of a solution. And as you say, to get active, to fling it away, physically move, it's so powerful.
And actually having a little stamp of your feet and actually shaking your hands, you can do without anyone really even noticing. But just again, it's recognizing in yourself what you're feeling and what's going on physically for you. And if you feel that you've stopped breathing, because that's what I do sometimes, and you're just feeling it, just have a little moment to wiggle your neck about, move your shoulders, shake those hands and stamp your feet a little bit, and actually then you will feel better, because like you say, Lesley, the hormones are building up for very good reason. The hormones, the cortisol, the adrenaline, they're preparing you for, like you say, the fight or flight. We don't need to do fight or flight. So that's why the body gets confused. But actually by physically moving and breathing, as you know, breathing is really important, as we know, then you're actually just moving everything around. You're getting that flow going again. So the hormones then can actually settle and move, and then your good hormones can come in, the ones that actually the dopamine and the serotonin, the feel-good ones, because hormones are moving all the time. They're there, they're in a flow and everything, and we can just help them along. So we can always replace the ones that we don't want at the time for ones that we do want, by simple thoughts, meditation, movement, simple actions. We can actually.
That's why they say to get out in nature, isn't it? If you start to feel overwhelmed and stressed, go for a walk. And it's not necessarily about the go for a walk, it's about get active.
Yes.
Someone said to me once, in an office building, if you get that surge of those stress hormones, and you think, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Go and run up and down the stairs. Go and run up and down run up and down the fire exit stairs, and it moves all the hormones, and then it gives the opportunity, and then think happy thoughts as you're running up and down the stairs, and it gives the opportunity for think something different.
That's the thing. We can do a lot with our mind, but like you say, physically. And you're absolutely right, because when we have got the adrenaline and the cortisol flowing in us, that is to give us the energy to run, to give us the energy to fight, the power to lift a car, that kind of thing. We hear stories, don't we?
Lift a car?
Yeah, well, no, you can do it. You get strong. You get, because this is what we need, or our brain thinks we need. And then we need to release it. So you're absolutely right. When it's not a real threat and we're not running and we're not fighting, then actually to do something to release those hormones that have built up. You're absolutely right. Running up and down the stairs is quite a good way to do it. Running on the spot maybe, or doing something. We haven't all got one, but a punch bag, is quite a valuable tool.
The boys have got one of those.
Things like that, and they really do work. I used to, when I was a nursery teacher, quite often we would have some of the children that you could see they've built up a bit of rage and everything. Go over to the book corner where there's all the cushions and have a little punch. It worked really well. It made such a difference. So you're absolutely right. Those hormones build up and they're there for a reason, but if they're not appropriate for us at this time, then we can do something about it. And like you say, we release them, and then the lovely ones that we want can flood in. So that's the
the danger lies really, I think, in if you don't actively take some steps to deal with those stress hormones when they come in, if you don't need them. Sometimes you do need them, as you're faced with a car that needs lifting, obviously it's going to be helpful, but not many of us are faced with that situation. But if you don't deal with them, a couple of things will happen. And the first one is they'll get stuck, and you start to slide towards depression and depressive thoughts and depressive behavior. The other one is they are absolutely exhausting. So you will be overwhelmed with tiredness. So there are very good reasons why you don't want to sit in a state of pain with those hormones. you acknowledge them, say thank you very much, but I don't need you right now, and then take these active steps, as say, like Nadine said, chuck them away, run up and downstairs, get outside, run on the skipping,
there's a good one.
hula hooping.
I'm going to start hula hooping classes soon. So
I love hula hooping.
Anything you can do. I mean, obviously we haven't all got a skipping rope to hand. You know, we haven't always got a hula hoop. It's not appropriate, but anything, you know, if it is appropriate, get in a habit.
Buy them off that dreadful man who runs Amazon. He does sell them quite cheaply.
I'm not getting mine from there. But anyway,
no, go to a nice shop in the high street, and they'll probably have one.
Exactly. But it's anything you can do. Find your own way. This is what it's all about. And recognize your own power. I'm very much into the power of choice, the power that we have ourselves to recognize and release, you know, and as I say so many times, the power of exhalation. It is that breath out, you know, just by noticing, go, well, here I go, I feel that funny feeling again, and just go, breathe out, sigh, you know, again, add some movement into it, have a sigh. You will feel better, and you will have changed the chemicals in your mind and your body, and it is the power that you have within you. So it is so I mean, I don't know if you want me to do a little quick recognize and release meditation.
I think it'd be a really good idea for people
just
to be guided through,
so
they can do it. So we're going to do a little recognize and release meditation. Perfect.
Very quick, very simple, and it's exactly what we've just been talking about. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you're sitting down like myself and Lesley and probably Sandra is as well, just have your feet on the ground if you can. Feel yourself safe and supported in your chair, whatever's supporting you at the moment, and just become aware of your posture. So feet flat on the ground. It's really important as well to feel safe and secure. So if your feet are flat on the ground and you feel solid and you feel secure, and that really helps, being aware of your feet connected to the earth. I'm not quite on the earth, I'm 2 stories up, but it's down there. It's there. Just know that it's always there to support you. So if you want to close your eyes, I'll take my glasses off for a moment, and just close your eyes and just feel, as I say, safe and secure, feet firm on the ground. Your chair is supporting you, so feel that you can rest easy into it. Close your eyes if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just lower your gaze, and then just become aware of your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. You don't need to change anything. You're just becoming aware. You're tuning into your body. And this is another thing that's really powerful when you're feeling anxiety kick in. Coming out of your head into your body is powerful. So as you breathe in, soft and gentle, we don't need to take a big breath in. Just become aware of what's going on for you, mind and body. And then as you exhale, like a soothing stroke all the way down your body, enjoy that exhalation from your head all the way down to your toes. Connect with your feet, feel grounded, feel safe and solid as you exhale. You're just becoming comfortable with a lovely roll of breath in your own rhythm. As you breathe in, it's just soft and gentle. You're just becoming aware, taking note of what's going on for you, how you feel. And then as you exhale, imagine that breath as if it comes all the way from your head, all the way down your body, like a long, soothing stroke. You can settle yourself and just put right all that chemical hormone balance. And just take your awareness all the way down to your feet and beyond. And just notice the difference in how you feel. So just continue with that roll of breath in your own rhythm. Breathing in soft and gentle. At the top of the breath, you just notice and recognize the power that you have as you exhale to change, to soothe and settle, and to choose how you react to whatever's going on for you at the moment. But just while we're in this lovely, peaceful, calm base, I'll just give you a good example of how this works. So I'm going to ask you to use your memory now. So as you breathe in, the next time you're ready to breathe in, just remember a time when you felt a little bit of stress or anxiety. It might not be that difficult to remember. At the top of the breath, remind yourself you are safe and okay. It's just a memory. And then as you exhale, you're going to use that power of your breath to change how you feel. Soothing and settling yourself with your breath, taking your focus all the way down to your feet. So again, I'll just talk you through that roll of breath. As you breathe in, you just bring to mind, this is just imagined because we're practicing, a little bit of stress and anxiety. Notice how you feel in your mind and body. At the top of the breath, remind yourself you're safe and okay. And then as you exhale, long, deep and slow, feel the power that you have to calm and soothe and settle. Go all the way down to your focus, to your feet, and choose how you come out of that breath. Choose how you react, how you respond. So just one little more time with that so you can practice breathing in, remembering some memory of feeling stress or anxiety. At the top of the breath, remind yourself you're safe and you're okay. And then really, really enjoy the power that you have as you exhale to change how you feel. Let all those chemicals rebalance, sort out the ones that you want, get rid of the ones that you don't. In that breath, down to your feet, and knowing that you can choose how you come out of this breath. Your power, your choice. And then just let the memory fade. Thank you for now. It was just a little practice, that little memory that you had. Let it go now as you come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Becoming aware of your feet on the ground in reality. Your chair supporting you, sounds around you, temperature. And if you have closed your eyes, just slowly and gently open them again. Coming back to now. A little shake and a wiggle again if you want to. Stamp your feet. And just come back to reality. And that's a very, very quick example of something that you can do in the moment.
Amazing how it gets you right there in the heart centre, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does connect.
I can feel the weight go straight into my heart centre.
Yeah,
when you say, think about something stressful.
Yeah, exactly. And it's mean of me to do that, I know, but it's a way for you to practice.
Very mean.
I know. But if we practice when we're in a calm, safe space, then we've got that tool ready when we need it. And that's the key. And you're absolutely right, Lesley. If you felt it in your heart, other people might have felt something in their tummy. Everyone gets something different. And it's recognizing how it is for you, your triggers, your reactions, and then you have the power to choose how you come out of that. And that's a very quick example. On my YouTube channel, my Calmer Self YouTube channel, there's a longer version. It's called 6 Steps to Serenity, a little meditation that will take you out of your head and in your body in a little bit. It's probably about 10 minutes. It's not that long, but it's a nice little one, again, to practice. And you get
have in your pocket.
Yes,
have in your pocket if you're feeling. So often when I'm running massive events, there is a moment where it just goes on to the tipping point of, is this all going to come together? And you know in your head, it's all going to come together in the end. But there's always that tipping point when you're running massive events of and the fear hits you, and it makes me always in my heart feel like I'm almost broken. And having that to be able to go and sit somewhere quietly in the loo if necessary.
Yes,
stick your headphones in and just listen to it.
If you can take yourself away and give yourself that moment, great. But if you can't, as I say, the little things that we talked about at the start of this, that shaking your hands out will work to a point. That little breathing technique, you can do that in 3 breaths. You can actually do it in 1 breath, and you can do it in the moment if you need to. Again, if you practice it, you get better and better at it. The more you do it as well, the quicker your body responds, because it's a memory. So again, it's so valuable. Like you say, have it in your pocket, have it in your toolbox, however you want to look at it. It's valuable to take a little bit of time to practice.
So that's on your Calmer Self YouTube channel.
That's right. Yeah, there is a meditation. There's lots of meditations on there, and there's lots of me and you chatting, isn't there?
There's lots of me and you chatting about stuff, about life, because I think it's really important to air these conversations so that nobody feels that what they're suffering alone. And as Sandra said, that's why it's really important to be part of a collective or a community, because it would also help you deal with insomnia at night, because insomnia is caused by hormones.
Exactly, you're so right. That is a technique that I teach people when I work with a lot of people that have trouble sleeping, and that is one of the techniques that I teach as well. And like you say, it's settling all the hormones that are going around. If you've got adrenaline and cortisol running around your body when you're trying to sleep, it's never going to work. So yes, that breathing technique, however you want to look at it, will really, really help as well. So,
and that's why women in the menopause struggle to sleep, because their hormones are literally all over the place.
yes,
And finding techniques to actually manage your hormones by your brain is just such a powerful thing. Really. And again, it's really important to talk about, but what it's also important to say is, if you find you're completely overwhelmed to a point of depression where you're having very bad thoughts, or you're not being able to sleep to the point of it making you unwell, so you can't eat, and you're not being able to function normally in your day, please go and seek medical assistance.
Oh, definitely.
These are skills and techniques and practices that you can use within a normal everyday realms of, I feel unhappy, I feel sad. But if you've gone over the edge into something more clinical, because that's what clinical depression is, it's just the hormones are out of control, the chemicals in our body have gone out of control, you might need clinical support.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes we do need that as well. And I'm a great believer in the two working together. You know, it's really does help. And a lot of doctors will say, you know, learn some breathing techniques, learn something, but the two working together. So I think don't rule anything out, you know, get as much help as you can from anywhere, because
ask
it really
for
is.
Help.
Ask for help.
Ask for help. And that's the beauty of being part of something like Pure, is that we're always here. You know, there's a big team of us, and we're always here for people to ask for help. Never fear about reaching out and saying, I'm struggling. We won't ridicule or laugh at you, because we've all been there. We've all got that T-shirt 9 times over.
Totally.
And going back to that eat the frog, you know, at these points you literally eat the elephant in one bite. You take off a tiny little toe,
little bits,
and you just eat it a tiny little bit at a time. But that's you get a support group around you, and if you've got, we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if maybe the people you're with aren't working, you can supplement that with watching videos, contacting health professionals like Nadine, becoming a member of something like Pure. All of these things will help you as well in that journey. Definitely. So they're all powerful bits of in the toolbox.
And I think you're right, that analogy of looking at, you know, you don't eat an elephant in one go, you know. We don't get back into society, we don't reintegrate ourselves in one big hit, do we? That wouldn't be wise, and very difficult. So it is little steps all the time, isn't it? And it also is recognizing, I'm big on congratulating yourself for the little things we do, you know, giving yourself a big pat on the back when you've done. I mean, I did when I went out Friday night, so I did it, you know, I did it
exactly.
You know? And then I did spend a lot of Saturday actually going, I was a bit tired, I made a bit of space for myself. Again, that's something I think we would, it's good to do now. Make sure that you've got some time and some space after anything that you do, because you're going to need it, and actually you deserve it. And that time, some of that time was spent in actually going, I did it, and everything was fine, it was good, you know. Remembering that you did something scary, but it was okay. It's again, it's another tool. It's building up those muscle memories of I did it, you know, that thing, and it really does help you. So
that's that thing about being kind and self-care, because to not self-care is the flip side of not caring about yourself is a self-abuse. No one wants to be doing that. That's not going to get you what you want out of life, is it? No. And celebrating even the smallest win, like, you know, I celebrated the fact that we went out for dinner, I got dressed up, the clothes actually still fitted me, which was a big win. That was a massive win. I was like, oh, I can still get the zip done up on this outfit.
We're joking, but it is another area of anxiety, isn't it? Well, I can't go out because nothing.
Absolutely. I was anxious about that. I went to my wardrobe and I was like, okay, am I going to be able to pick out an outfit and it actually fit me? Because I haven't been wearing these clothes for like a year. And we not only do we put on weight or lose weight, but we also, our body shape changes slightly.
Definitely. And I think things like putting on a pair of heels and things like that, you know, we haven't done it.
No.
I say that some people have worn their high heels for Zoom calls. I know people that do. But I haven't. So all of those things, they're just, you know, how long has it been? A year, 2 years, you know, we haven't done these things. So to actually think about putting a pair of solid high heel shoes on is it feels very unusual. So it's all of those things just to really, really recognise. And
I went to London on Thursday and I wore sandals. And I met a friend and we went to the Hockney exhibition, and afterwards I said, I messaged her, really lovely, but my feet are killing me. And she went, me too, got to get back in the trainers.
But and that's fine, isn't it? Just again, little steps again, isn't it? We can't do what we were doing 2 years ago. We've got to break.
No, London was, for you, it was a bit like your Friday night, and I think that's why I was kind of okay over the weekend. But it was quite empty, but it was also a little bit sad.
Well, I think that's a big point to recognise as well, isn't it, Lesley, that actually with all of this there is loss and sadness and grief, and to recognise that as well, because when I went out, you're absolutely right, I quite like the fact that we have space. I've got to the age now where I don't really welcome a crowded venue where everyone's pushing and shoving. I used to love it. It used to be my life, but I don't now. So having this socially distanced space, and probably, like you say, if you went on, did you go on a train?
I did.
Yes,
and it was quite full up, and I didn't like it at all.
I was going to say, I wouldn't have expected that, actually. So I haven't done the public transport really, but just having that space and to really just recognise that it is so important just to go, I'm a little bit nervous about not having my space, and because we deserve it anyway, but never mind in these circumstances, we really deserve to have our space. And
I got on the train and I sat down and I put my handbag on the other seat so no one could sit next to me, and I thought previous years, if you'd put your handbag on the seat, someone would just come and ask you to move it, but they didn't. And then I got off, and the reason I was sad was because London, there's so many bits of it have closed, and there's so many things closed, and I thought, this makes me, as much as I'm happy about the fact that there's not too many people near me, which was better, I really appreciated that it wasn't too busy, I felt really a sense of loss for a life, for a culture that I'd really enjoyed, and that loss on behalf of other people for their jobs and for their livelihoods. And restaurants that I'd really had special moments in, celebrations and things, were not open.
So you're going to get
I felt really sad.
And that is again something that almost those waves of emotions are going to hit you unexpectedly, aren't they? In whatever circumstance, as I say, much as we might like the space and the changes and everything, we still feel the sadness and the loss, because things have changed, and a lot of things will come back, but they're not there yet. And it is, like you say, to feel that sadness at a place that's shut, or to just recognise how many people have lost their jobs, how many people have lost loved ones, all sorts of things. And we do, that's that collective energy a bit, isn't it?
It was.
That again, we are feeling the sadness not only for ourselves but for everyone else as well.
I did. I really felt the collective sadness, and I thought, no, I've got to contribute to making this feel positive and put some positive energy out. So I then went and connected with another friend, and we went out and had a glass of wine, and I said, we've got to be happy and think positively, and but I had to make an effort.
I think that's right. But again, you've done exactly what we were just doing. You've recognised it, and you've chosen to do something about it to make yourself feel a bit better. But again, that collective energy is going to help. You're sending out that positive energy to everybody. And that's a lovely thing to do, isn't it? So, but it is that very simple: recognise and choose.
And the other thing I did, and I don't know about what you have to say about this, but the other thing I did was I decided over the weekend to have a complete digital detox. So I left my phone and so when we went out both times, I left my phone behind. I didn't have it with me, so I didn't have all that electricity energy attached to me. So over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I have completely been away from, until late last night, I've been completely away from my computer and my phone. And I know it's aggravated a few people, but they've understood why I've done it. And I feel lighter, and I feel able to then help channel everybody else and help them get to where they need to be. What is that about?
Do you know, I'm so with you on that one, Lesley. I call it a digital detox too. I say I go off grid, and I do. And you're right. There are some people that go, "Oh, I couldn't get hold of you," but people understand, and actually people do. I encourage everybody to do it more often. But it's so important just to not, because we're on alert. That's a stressful thing in itself when we are waiting for someone to answer an email, or we're waiting for something on Facebook or whatever social media. Or we are just actually going, oh, I wonder what's happening. You know, there is that. I know myself, you know, I'm quite addictive, you know, and I know, oh, I just want to have a look, just want to have a look. So the only way that I can detach myself is to turn it all off. And as I say, I call it going off grid. And I turn everything off and I just go, and yeah, nature helps us. But you don't even necessarily need that. You just need to get away from it. And turning it off, putting it away so it's not a distraction and it's not a temptation is so good for you, because you just, yes, there is the electricity thing going on, the science that I don't really understand, but it is actually just making, you can switch off your brain from it. You can actually go, don't need to be thinking about emails and this, that, and
I think you just hit the nail on the head there. It's like, when you've got your phone with you, you're in constant anticipation of it might ring.
You're a little bit anxious, aren't you, because it's there. And you're on alert, aren't you? You've got that's what I think. I'm waiting for something, and if something doesn't happen, I'm looking.
You'll make it happen.
Yeah, and that's because it's that. And I just jokingly think it's because I just want everyone to like talk to me and notice me, but it's more than that, isn't it? But it is a bit like, well, why hasn't someone spoken to me? Why? You know, it's that as well. But there is anxiety with that. So again, to recognise that if we turn everything off, we're just switching off that anxiety channel, if you like.
Yeah, that's low grade, isn't it? Low grade is the worst.
Yeah, it's a really big one to actually just know that while that's going, I mean, gosh, I don't know if you do it, Lesley, but I know people that will have their phone when they're watching the television. They're multitasking the whole time. That's tiring. I
don't really watch the telly.
No, so that's good. Whatever people are doing, they're quite often on maybe more than one gadget at once, you know, 2, maybe 3. And oh gosh, it's exhausting just to watch people, actually. And I don't want to live my life like that. Not that I can't, I don't.
As you say, conscious decision. I try not to take it with me when I walk. But if I walk alone, if I'm walking alone, I will take it with me for 2 reasons. One, if heaven forbid something happened, I fell over or something. Or B, I like to track how many steps I've done in a day.
Well, there is that, but it is, again, you know, it's finding your own way, and we need our safety, we need our communication. That is important. But actually, again, I'll show you. This is make you laugh. This is my old phone.
Yeah, your digital.
That's my way of coping. That's my way of coping with it, because that's friends and family only. That's emergencies.
Yeah.
But also there's no Facebook, there's nothing. I can't take a picture, I can't do anything. And I've done that on purpose, because I agree with you, Lesley. I want my safety. I want to be able to get in touch with someone if I need help. But also, I don't want the distractions. I don't even want to take pictures when I'm out in nature. I just want to be there and enjoy it. So that's me. I take it to quite an extreme level. But we can all find a way. And again, it's just recognising it, just becoming aware of what happens that frazzles our brain every day, and just choosing how we want to be. If you want to spend your life on Facebook and WhatsApp and everything all at once, then that's your choice and that's fine. But if you want to,
no judgment here. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, and some people need to for their businesses or their social lives, or what they're caring for people, whatever they need. It is fine. But actually know that you have a choice. We always have a choice, and that's the thing. Even if it is only, that's what I say about the breathing techniques. If you can switch off even for a second, you're doing yourself the world of good.
Yeah, so just turn off one of those senses, because we're being bombarded, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. There's so much in the world that we live in. If we can switch off, and I call it snatching a moment of calm, if we can do that in our day-to-day life, we are really giving ourselves so much benefit, health-wise, mentally-wise, you know, just switching off. And it can be done in a breath. It can be done, as I say, turning off the phone for half an hour. Makes a difference. You know, whatever you want to do, just be aware and see what you can factor into your life, because it makes a difference. And with all of this, we're talking about the anxiety of getting back into society and everything. All of these little steps will help massively. So it's just finding your own way, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so remembering that it's a choice. And that anything you're experiencing is normal, because they're happening in your chemicals, are happening in your body. So you won't be the first or the only person who's ever felt that.
No.
but you have a choice to control it or to ask for help, or to seek outside support. And there are all these little things that you can do along the way, and they're all there to help you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So get a few things in your toolbox, and then choose to try them.
This is the thing. Try things, trial and error. Try something, it might not work, try something else. You know, reach out to help, like Lesley says. Lesley's always there for everyone. I am
always
too.
here.
Yeah, I am too, if you want any help or you want to dig a bit deeper with any of that. I know I'm quite aware of time, Lesley, because we can talk forever, can't we?
We can.
Can I just end on demonstrating the power pose for everyone?
Power pose is what we're going to do, and then we're going to say goodbye to everyone.
Again, it's a very beneficial little tool that you can do. Like you were saying, Lesley, when you're doing exhibitions and everything, I do this with a lot of people that perform and need to be. And I'm going to stand up, so I don't know how this is going to work with the camera, but
that could be
you don't have to do it with me, but you can if you want to.
I've got headphones on. That could be interesting.
Yeah, right, I'm not going too far away. So what you do is you stand up. As I said before, don't worry, you don't have to do it, Lesley.
I'll just watch.
It's very, very simple. So what you do is you stand up. So you give yourself, again, that safe, secure stance. So make sure you're feeling safe and solid, feet flat on the ground. So connecting with the earth is really important. And then with your hands, you're going to put them out with the palms facing outwards. So either out like that, or you can put them on your hips, which I call Wonder Woman. That's a Wonder Woman pose. Or you can put them out. But the important thing is that you're just stretching out, you're opening up your chest. Because again, when we're scared and we're nervous, we close up. So we're opening up. So I like hands on hips, actually, because it makes me very strong. So feet flat on the ground, feeling safe and secure and firm and solid. Hands outstretched, palms up if you want to, or on your hips. Opening up your chest. And the reason we do that is because we are then making ourselves vulnerable. We are exposing our heart. We don't do that when we feel unsafe. We close it because we need to. That's going back to tribal times like we were talking about earlier. But we're opening it up. So be conscious of opening up that chest area, sticking your chest out if you want to think of it that way. Then you also expose your jugular vein. You put your neck out. So again, it's very basic. We're exposing something that we keep safe. We're actually going, I'm brave, I'm powerful. I'm actually making this vulnerable. So we're making our neck stick out, so our jugular vein, if you like. And then also with our eyes, when we're nervous, we look down or we close them. We're looking up, we're opening our eyes wide, we're looking upwards. So those three things: heart, neck, eyes, looking up, pushing outwards, being brave, and actually having this pose, saying to yourself, the world, and to your mind that I am safe and I am strong. Now, I have rabbited on while we've done that because it's important to do this for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, as we were saying earlier, Lesley, that changes all the chemicals in your body. Making that pose for 2 minutes will change everything. Everything juggles around. So when you're feeling anxious, make yourself vulnerable, do that pose. If you want to add in a shake in your hands and stamping your feet, all the better. But that will actually change exactly how your body reacts, how your mind reacts, how you think and feel. Wow. And it is power pose, it says it all, doesn't it? So but it is, you don't have to time yourself, but you need time to just change all those chemicals. But it's sending all those messages to your mind and your body, every cell of your body, to go, I'm brave, I'm safe, I'm okay.
And if you're in a situation where you can't do the power pose because it would look awkward or odd, you can just raise your eyes to the ceiling.
You can, yeah. Or just, if you actually do, a lot of people do with their shoulders, they roll their shoulders. Just actually putting your chest out. That really, really helps. So like you say, looking up with your eyes, doing whatever, or even it just in your mind, Lesley, has quite an effect. You know, my chest is open, my neck is open, my eyes are open, I'm safe and I'm okay.
I've done that a lot when I've been in a situation where I've been overwhelmed by grief. You can't cry when you're looking up.
Interesting, isn't it? It's really interesting.
If you're looking up, you can't cry.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you can't cry. So if you're overwhelmed by grief in a situation where you don't want to let it all out at that moment.
Yes, it's good to cry, but sometimes it's not always appropriate, is it? And that is,
it's not helpful sometimes.
I've not heard that one before, but it makes sense. It's this exactly the same thing, isn't it? When we're sad, same as when we're scared, we close and we go down. But when we're opening up, and it's so powerful. And I do it sometimes in meetings. You know, if I'm feeling a little bit nervous, I will just literally sit up and stick my chest out. And that makes you. I know it's not the best. Not when you've got a chest like mine, it's not the best thing to do. But it really does make a difference to how, you know, in meetings, people have said sometimes, oh, like, you know, you sit up straight. And I go, yeah, I'm doing that for a reason.
Sit up straight is a really
I'm doing it for a reason, because actually when you're slouched, you are sending out the wrong signals, but also to yourself, you're giving the wrong signals.
The wrong hormones being triggered.
Exactly. And when you change, and that is, as I say, that power pose physically will change the hormone balance, and that is so important. You know, that's work we don't have to do ourselves, because it's all going on inside, so that's powerful.
Thank you so much. That's been absolutely invaluable, and hopefully people will find this useful. It's not just useful coming out of a pandemic, it's useful any time of your life.
It really is. It really is.
Yes, we have had an experience over the last year and a half that has been frightening, scary, and very unusual. But these techniques help you at any time in your life when you're faced with something frightening, scary, or very unusual.
Exactly. There's tools for life, without a doubt. They're all part of my Calmer Self method. I've been teaching them for years, but now, you know, we really do need them, don't we? So, thank you, Sandra.
Off to work, Sandra. You're going to do some lovely painting.
Thank you so much.
And because there'll be a call for artists going out in the next week or so. So we need art.
Yes.
And so brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lesley. I really loved chatting.
That was absolutely brilliant. Thank you.